What's up guys, Manny from Motomillion. It's time to get hyper. I bet you didn't expect to change the scenery, right? Well, we always forget we have scales, and before our first mods, let's weigh this mono. It's full of fuel. I did ride it for 3 miles or 4 miles or so, but I double checked it. It still has almost fuel to the brim. So that's the advantage that it'll get. Maybe next time I'll do the same ride around and come back before we weigh it. And let's show you the scales real quick. Right over here, I'm gonna turn it on and I'm gonna show you that it is zeroed out right here so that we're not cheating, we're not making it heavier, because obviously it'll be in our best interest to make the bike as heavy as possible, so after our mods it becomes super lightweight. When we say that, we shave so much pounds, but it's a 0. Let's push it up and see. I don't know if anybody wants to take a guess. Now's the time to hit that pause button. Go comment below, tell us what you think it's going to weigh. I'll tell you what I think it's going to weigh. That's hard. I want to say 350. I hope, but it feels pretty light either way. So let's go ahead and push this onto the scales. Okay, let's make sure everything's on the scale. So there's 3 scales, one for the kickstand, one for the rear wheel, one for the front wheel. Holy cow, this makes me happy. Look at this. I didn't even look at the specs online. It's saying 353 pounds. So there you go, a stock mono in the US spec trim, because I don't know if there's any changes, weighs 353 pounds, full of fuel. Now let's get it back on the bench and let's do the first mods. Now that you guys saw this featherweight supermoto weighs 353 pounds, full of fuel, plus the weight of the key, let's see what we're installing today. It's our first mods, and some of the parts we're installing are first because we have some prototypes here. The first one that we have is this TWM fuel cap. By the time that you guys are watching this video, this fuel cap will be available for the Hypermotard. The install is very different from what we're used to with any kind of fuel cap. We'll have a different video for how to install this, but we're gonna put this on. We have our NRC Fender Eliminator Kit because that fender's gotta go. This is so far the best option that there is. We've looked around and NRC makes beautiful stuff. I don't know how it's gonna look. From the pictures, I think it kind of interferes with that slim tail, but again, this is the best option that there is right now. And I think one last part is going to be our heel guards. But while we're doing the heel guards, we're actually going to be doing this DBK special parts cage for the rear reservoir. So enough talking, let's get working. First the NRC, then the TWM, and these parts after. If you've seen pictures of the NRC Fender Eliminator, there's a little bit of gap between this rear tailpiece and the lights. This is the revised model where the gap was made less, but we further took it into our own hands. We bent this light upwards a little bit because it's metal, and we put it into the exact location that we wanted to. Look at that tail, it looks so clean and tidy. That's the NRC Fender Eliminator installed. Now it's time for our TWM fuel cap. To do that, we gotta remove our fuel cap and get on the bench. I got the TWM fuel cap all put together. I dissected the stock fuel cap and put the TWM parts on it. And I also want to remind you guys that all the products that we use on our videos is always in the link in the description below. Let's see this. Let's put it in place, quarter turn, and it's on, and look at it, it looks amazing. Well, 2 parts are already on, the NRC Fender Eliminator and the TWM fuel cap. We did shed some weight with that Fender Eliminator. Now we're going to shed even more weight by removing these passenger foot pegs, and we're going to be installing our carbon fiber heel guards by Fullsix, and also we're going to change that plastic cage for the reservoir to this beautiful Duca Bike CNC machined aluminum piece. guys are gonna ask to weigh some of these parts, like the rear passenger foot pegs. We didn't weigh the fender eliminator. We'll do a total weigh-in once we're done with this project. But if you're wondering what the rear passenger foot pegs weigh, they weigh 2¼ pounds. And it's safe to say we saved 2½ pounds by just installing the carbon pieces, because I don't even think that the carbon pieces weigh 1/4 pounds. And that's pretty much it, guys, for this episode. We installed in total of 4 parts as our first mods: the TWM fuel cap, NRC Fender Eliminator, Fullsix Heel Guards, and also our DBK rear reservoir cage. And I want to let you guys know that this is only started this project, and as this bike is a supermoto, I've heard all the supermoto guys like to be loud, not just with the exhaust, but with the mods they do. So this bike might end up a little different from what you guys expect from the Motomillion bikes that we do. Not that we're going to use anything else in the highest quality parts available, but we're going to add a lot of color to this bike to make it loud, not just with the exhaust, but with all the other parts and colors that are on the bike. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Until next time, guys, have a good one.